part of the show for me personally, and that's the Feel Good Sunday. Now, earlier this week, my colleague Maschaba Mposwa caught up with South African actress Thuso Mbedu. At the moment, she is featuring in Task, an American series set in the suburbs of Philadelphia, when FBI agent assembles a task force of various personalities to investigate a string of household robberies that spirals into a web of drama and danger. Now, Thuso spoke about her journey as an actress and the excitement of landing a role as an FBI agent, and also, of course, reminiscing about working with the late Nandi Nyembe. Take a look.
Thuso, thank you so much for your time. You are just continuing to raise the South African flag up high. But the first thing that I need to highlight is that it's quite obvious. An obvious trait of yours is that you, for anyone who's experienced you, is that, or your extension, is that you're quite intentional about taking on roles that are impactful. I mean, you're changing lives. Um, what has been your highlight, the favorite part of your career for you?
I think it will be very hard to pinpoint one because, like you're saying, I've tried, like everything that I choose is for a reason. And so with every project that I do, now it has a specific reason, from the underground to Women King, now Task, Task, I think what I really enjoyed about it was that for the first time, I could like take a back seat, if one could say, and observe and learn as much as I can, being in a completely different city within America. Working with Abel Mark, and just like legit learning from them, because I was there as a supporting cast member, and Umar could take the lead for all of us. First time being a detective, first time, because I'm obsessed with action a little bit. Just
a little bit, just a little. I mean, what you said your director expected of you, and you didn't really have a choice, but you pulled through, you understand? And then now you're playing the role of a police woman.
All right. A whole FBI agent. I haven't even done it SAPS, guys. I haven't even.
Hey, there'd be more. There's too much happening in South Africa right now.
So, and I think that's something that I've always wanted to do. When you watch series and you see them come in all official, all in the know, and so to be able to play something like this, also the character is like modern day American, which is something I haven't done yet. Because, King and the underground were in the 1800s. So this is my first contemporary performance.
So talk to me about the character that you portray in Task called Aaliyah, and what you had to do to prepare for this role.
Yeah. So number one, I was very happy to be able to play a character that's like late 20s, early 30s, because I've never had the chance to do that. All the characters I've played have been so young. So even in my conversation with the director, at first in Nyembe, the first thing I said was, do you think that I look the age of this character? Because I grew tired of like going for auditions and having feedback, people be excited about me and then turn around and say, oh, but you look too young for it. So I was like, before we even continue with the audition, bro, let's not waste each other's time.
Don't waste my time. You are such a role.
Respectfully. And he took it within stride and he's like, yes, I believe that. Because when I auditioned, I was like 33 or 32, turning 33. And he was like, yeah, it's nothing that we can't, fix with hair, makeup, whatever. And so I was very excited. And then Aaliyah, we meet her, she's very standoffish, but there's a reason to who she is. And that's something that I was very excited to explore. And then working with David Asbad, who was the chief of police, it's the East Town Police Department. And so we had like training sessions with him, gun handling sessions, like learning how to raid a house as the FBI, so that we look like we know what we're doing. And then stunts here and there.
You mentioned the fact that Aaliyah is quite standoffish. How much of Aaliyah is you, and how much of you is Aaliyah?
Aaliyah is mostly herself, because with the other characters I've played in the past, I've drawn a lot of parallels. But with Aaliyah, if anything, in pulling from her, I had to pull from other people's experiences. I spent a lot of time just YouTubing, characters who've been in her position, even even finding policewomen, without giving anything away of the story, finding policewomen specifically who had been in her position.
Was that harder or easier for you in terms of going from pulling from the parallels with your previous roles? I mean, in The Woman King and Underground Railroad, and then now portraying Aaliyah in
Yeah.
Task.
I don't know if I would say if I could draw the do a comparison of harder easier, but I definitely enjoyed it more because there's like a clear cut separation. You know, I'm meeting someone new for the first time. You know, I'm playing with a completely new character for the first time. I enjoy research. You know, I've always enjoyed research. And so researching her, building her was exciting for me. And I had a lot of time to build because yeah, coming from, we had auditioned just before the writer's strike, the actor's strike, not the actor, there's so many strikes, the actor's strike. So I had time to build her and play with her and, you know, do the necessary research. And I had a lot of fun with that.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I love to hear that you're having fun. And we know you've suffered great loss in your journey. How much of your lived experience has influenced your choices as a thespian?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, I don't think I would say that I pick characters as a result of the loss. You gotta know what it's hard to separate, you know, my lived experience from how I see the world. Um, and unfortunately, I will say unfortunately, most of the characters that I've played have suffered a loss, especially in the form of a mother, you know, from Uwini in Tunzi to then Cora, and then the Woman King, Unawi, she was adopted as far as she knew, not knowing that her mom actually lived, but living, you know, her life as an orphan, essentially. And Aaliyah, not that we ever see it in the story, but she has a mother. Like in the previous drafts, I had a scene that was written between her and her mother. So she has a very good relationship with her mom. Um, you know, but it is that for me, it's in picking the projects, it's about trying to tell the authentic human experience as best as I can. And that will be informed by my lived experience, whatever that
You
looks like.
You've just mentioned a production that you worked on a very long time ago. And I have a clip that I'd like to play you, and I want to see if you can recognize who this is.
Working with Thuso is amazing, and
Amanda.
true sense of the word, and that she's ready for anything. Funny memories from Miss Tunzi was her. She had to in one sequence hide under hay bales, and you know she just was. We didn't have a lot of budget, so she was hiding under real hay bales and real things that we found, and she did that with such courage and was rather itchy afterwards. There was another sequence where the late and amazing Nandi Nyembe, who we must honor, who was playing her aunt, told her that in order to be a person in the world, she needed to feed herself. Otherwise, she'd be relying on men forever. So she made her a killer chicken, and Thuso was fully committed to catching this chicken. And we obviously didn't kill the chicken in reality, but it was such a visceral experience.
Can I share something? And I'll text Amanda about this. It's a nugget because I watched this Twinsie again on Saturday. Actually, I found an old hard drive and I had some of, you know, some clips from Miss Twinsie, and the killing the chicken part will always be hilarious to me. And if people ever get to watch it again, they must watch Winnie's hands. Now, I'm giving insider information, which is hilarious, but it's so long ago, it doesn't matter anymore. They must watch my hands because the hands that you see actually covering the chicken are not my hands because I was petrified. Still am petrified of chicken. So when they see me run away from the chicken in the sequence, it's actually because I am running away from this chicken that was coming towards
Girl,
me.
you're not the only one who's
So they
afraid of
had to
live
exchange
chicken.
their
Listen,
hands.
that's the thing. It's a real thing. So, where does that take you back to in terms of what is your memory of how your career began and the journey that you walked after hearing this voice note from Amanda Lane, who's, by the way, a highly renowned filmmaker, director?
it hasn't been an easy journey coming from, talking from my graduation, my university graduation in June, because 3 days before my graduation, I lost an aunt of mine. And then Istunzi, 3 days before Istunzi came out, I lost my grandmother. And so even though, I mean, not Istunzi, Saints and Sinners, I lost my grandmother. And then, it was up and down, up and down. 2016 was the hardest year of my life. And then it was, Istunzi came in 2016, where I felt like it was either, I was just like, God, either tell me where to pivot to in terms of career-wise, or gift me with death. That's dark, but that was, the prayer point where
So
I'm like,
you were
God,
right at the end. You were just about to give
yeah,
up. And
yeah.
for people who don't know, who have not followed your journey, losing your grandma was like losing your mother, because you lost your mom at a
Yes,
very early age, at the
at a
age of
very young
4.
age, yeah. And
So now I wish we had 2 hours because there's so much to talk about. But I want to now talk about, as we conclude, right? We recently lost Mom Nandi. I mean, she's a legend for real now.
yeah.
What can you tell us about your relationship with her? What was she like?
Oh, Mam Nandi Bagiti, she was the sweetest, the kindest, and funny. She was actually very funny. And she also, like, from the time we worked together, like, took me under her wing, like a daughter, which is something I really appreciated in the context, of the grander scheme. Um, I was I only just recently learned of, the fact that she had been in a wheelchair and had gotten quite sick. It's only in her passing that I learned of, a viral video that she had put out, because I haven't been on social media. So without social media, it broke my heart, because I feel like there's something that I could have done to try help her in that situation, in a situation that she shouldn't have been in to begin with. But as South Africans, was it Kidio? Because she did the stories in
Yeah.
for kids.
Right.
So
Yes.
growing up, like really admiring her, and then getting to work with her, the love that we felt as kids when we watched the video is the love that she shared with us on set, is what I can
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before I let you go, just closing, what do you have to say to your fans in South Africa? I mean, we love you so much, and you've done
Well,
so well representing us. Just briefly.
I'm trying. What I can say is, like, just a big and very sincere thank you for the support up until now, because again, like, seeing people rally for you time and time again, where I feel like I haven't even done that much to garner that type of support, and people still being there for me, I really appreciate it. And feeling like an extended family that I'm with globally, no matter where I am in the world. And then finally make sure to watch it. Has it's not something that we're used to in South Africa in terms of viewing, but again, we know Guti HBO only produces quality work. This is a role that, unlike anything they've seen me in before, and it's one of those slow burns. So stick with it, watch it. It's definitely worth the watch. And also know and understand that in shooting it, every single person that I worked with was kind and funny and loving. And so just as they embrace me, let them embrace, this new family that I have as well.
We love you so much. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.